We'll be sending out ongoing communication about it. Your students will be receiving communication about it. So then what our goal is to share those communications out with you at the same time that your students are receiving them, and then we're here to answer your questions. So I'm going to introduce our Dean of Special Programs, Jose Rocha. He is new at MJC. He's been with us for about a year now, right? A year? Yes. Okay, and he gets to work with all of the really fun programs on campus that have a lot of good resources and services to students. So I'm going to have him share with you today.
Can you guys hear me in the back? I don't like microphones, actually. Yeah. Good? All right. All right. As mentioned, my name is Jose. I'm actually very new to the campus. I'm new to the area as well. I grew up in Oakland, came to the Bay Area, so I know Denise. She was actually one of my students at Indian High School. I'm new to the area, I'm learning a lot, and I'm actually glad that I'm here because it gives me an opportunity and perspective to learn more what the Central Valley offers, right? And so kind of looking at some different services and resources that we have here at the campus, and where are some of the gaps that we have for our students. So a lot of the stuff that we're actually doing within special programs is we're looking what works and what's not working and kind of making adjustments. Especially now with the pandemic and we're coming out of it, how is it all going to look like? Specifically because now we're going to have to go into a different model as our instruction, right? So kind of taking into the whole aspect perspective of online learning. And so if you think about it, some of our sophomores that were sophomores a few years ago are now seniors, and they've been on online platform the whole time. So how are we going to deliver these resources and services? And so those are the things we're talking as a team to kind of see what's going on. As well, we're also looking at different resources on campus as well. So I'll show that in a little bit. What I'm going to do, since there's a resource fair at the end, don't give out more information. I just kind of want to give a quick highlight of the different things that we have, some different programs that we have, what we offer, some of the focuses, and what we're going to offer in the future. So I shouldn't take too long, maybe about 12 minutes. Jackie will take out some of my time to cover ESP. So what has happened here at MJC is we actually went through changes. So we used to be DSPS, and Jackie will talk a little bit more about it. So we're moving to accommodations and support center. So kind of be more forward thinker, just providing services for our students. So she'll provide more. But also under her area, and the way we're looking at this is we're looking at pods, or more like areas and centers for the campus, right? So within that area is the Veterans Resource Center. So we have about 200 to 300 students, right, under VRC that are not only veterans that were part of the military, but also their dependents. And there's a resource area within East Campus that actually students can go there, get tutoring, get support services, counseling, all the things that they need, get their benefits, all their paperwork, as far as what the resources are part of. And so if you have any students that were part of your high school that come back to you and say, hey, I'm trying to get connected to some type of VRC type of program, the VRC on our campus is in place. So the nice thing about being in two different campuses is we offer resources in both areas. So although it may be housed in East Campus, we can find resources here at West Campus as well. Just kind of give the students those different pieces. All right. So one of the other areas that were touched about earlier that Aurelio was talking about was the CalWorks EOTS program. So that's been an historic program for the community college students. And so within that program, we actually offer a lot of resources for our students. So for our CalWorks is for our TANF and our Cache students. So some of the students that need some additional resources so they can get babysitting, or counseling, or other resources as well. So one of the nice things about us is that actually a student may be part of one program, but actually can use the resource of another. So for example, we have an RSM program with our previously incarcerated students, and I met with them last semester, and I said, what's going on, what can we do, what can we help you out as part of our transition to the campus, or what's some of the barriers you guys are facing that maybe to list of resources. And somebody said, I want to study, but I have my son with me and I can't. And so what we end up doing is we end up connecting to the CalWorks program. They qualify for it, and they actually got the babysitting support services, right? So we don't work in silos, what we do is we work together to making sure that students will get that. EOPS has been a historic program in our campus, and it's targeted some of the CCPG A and B students, so they're economically need resources. So they have to go to counseling and advising. They also get book services. Within the counseling piece, they actually have to meet 3 times a semester in order to be part of the program. Part of that is the intervention piece that we want to capture with our students. So if they're failing the class, if they're not meeting the extra support, then actually that's the time that we want to use to kind of connect with students, kind of see what's going on. Which that is also register for classes and all these pieces. And then the last piece within this area is our foster youth program that actually transitioned to this area itself. So currently we have about 100 foster youth students, previously have foster youth students, or foster youth students in the campus, and we're providing this resource. We're going to get some money from the state to provide these additional resources for them to help them out. And so some of this like financial literacy, training, support, they're actually going to go to a conference down in Southern California in the next few weeks to kind of just learn from the different experiences and how to actually build this up and create some more support for us. All right, moving on. The third piece, Daisy mentioned TRIO. And so TRIO is a federal program. It's similar to TRIO, Upper Bound, and ETS, right? But this is more at the college perspective. And this federal program is intended here on our campus to transfer our students. So we help our students transfer to a 4-year. And so they meet with Claudia and Carolina, which are on the far left on the end. And so they meet with them and they get the additional support and resources that they need. So they meet with them a couple times a semester, get academic advising, look at the other additional resources they need as well. They go visit college campuses. So I think in a couple of weeks they're going to go to Sac State. They've got Davis and schools that around the area to kind of go see what's going on. And so it's a great program. It's intended for our low-income students. But you have to be actually a U.S. citizen and or permanent resident. However, rumor has it, I don't know if it's true, but rumor has it they're actually going to take on undocumented immigrants as well. So that may be something that come out down the pipe. So with TRIO programs, that might be a change. So hopefully the feds are coming on board with that piece to actually offer more services and resources for our undocumented citizens. So don't quote me on it. All right, I was going to show you guys a video, but unfortunately we don't have a work rate. All right, so what are some of the transition things that are happening? So through a lot of the need that a lot of our specialists, which are kind of our coordinators for the campus, you notice a lot of gaps in our resources. They notice that things that need to change, stuff that we need to offer to our students. And so through that, they built a collaborative. And so the collaborative is one of the programs that focuses on African American and Latino males specifically. However, it's open to all students, right? And so the idea is to provide these additional resources for our students and to find new places. Part of that, we actually, there's on East Campus, we call it the Rise Up Center East. And then we moved from a smaller area to a much bigger area in the CAT building. And so this space actually offers a lot of services. So within that, we also have our RCM student, which is our emergency incarcerated students for the college. And we provide guidance, support, financial aid process to fill out applications. To create an environment, a very welcoming environment for students. And in the Race Center, the idea is to have a mixed space use, right? So invite faculty to come in and have their office hours versus students going out to their office hours. Provide workshops as well, or just kind of hanging out. Homework tutoring and so on and so forth, so these pieces. So the last piece in the East Campus, we have Emoja. Emoja is a statewide program that has been here for about 5 years or so. And what it does, its focus is on African American American diaspora's pedagogy and provide resources for our students, right? And so, but again, it's not intended for a specific group. It's a very group that offers a lot of things. And one of the cool things about Emoja is they have priority registration for classes. So beforehand, they can start registering for a course itself. On East Campus, West Campus, we're actually working right now to open up a center, and we're going to open up some Comunidad. Comunidad, like the collaborative, is a resource that we have for our Latinos and folks. So Comunidad works in 2 different ways. It's a network for Latino faculty, staff, and administrators to come together and look at some of our challenges. But also there's the student services component to it. So this past summer we had about 50 students come into the campus, and they had it wasn't a transactional experience. It's more like a very like engaging experience of what are the resources that we are. Help students register, help students get on board, understand where the resources at, understand what's going on. And so part of that, there's the Enlace program. We also have a Semilla program, which is our mentoring program. And last year we had about 10 students that are actually part of that. And it was very powerful. We just kind of heard like, more of their experiences and they all loved it. As part of that, to know to go to someone for that. LGBTQ plus as well, we're looking at opening up a space for our students, being welcoming, supportive as well. So we're working on that. And the food pantry, Pirates Pantry, which is right outside. So if you guys have a chance to go check it out, it looks like a storefront, and so we're actually adding some resources there. So, but part of that is also the housing. So this past year we connected with Lutheran Support Services, and we had about 12 students placed in housing that were homeless or housing insecure. And so we also gave a bunch of money for students that needed maybe some help to pay for, let's say, kind of rent or other resources. So there's all this whole basic needs resources that are part of that, including that. One thing I forgot to add is actually our undocumented students. And so for West Campus, we're looking at having a center as well for our undocumented students so they can have a place to stay. The thing that we're doing as well is, although let's say we have Unidad undocumented students plus food pantry in the West, we're not gonna say no to our East Campus students to come in so they can use the resources. So the idea is to be very fluid in both places. They might be a CTE student as well. One of the things I forgot to mention is a collaborative. Actually, we're doing some work right now on East Campus within our CTE work, where we're focused on African American Latino students that are 25 and over to bring them back to campus. So a couple years ago, they may disenroll for whatever reason. They're looking at our CTE program to come in. We're going to do some efforts. So we're working right now with Annette, who was part of the morning doing the presentation, and a couple of the folks to get them back, students back to the college. And so we're going to do some efforts for that. All right. I was going to show you another video, but yeah, we're having some challenges. All right. So what are some of the stuff we're working on? So a couple of things. Who's familiar with Puente? All right. We got a couple of things. All right. So Puente is a statewide program that started in Chabot College in the 1980s, and the idea is kind of like similar to Emoja, but for Latino students. And so the idea is to create resources. So there's three components. There's an English class. There's a mentoring class, and there's a counseling piece. And so we're working on going out for the program to bring it to the college itself. And so hopefully next fall, when we do this presentation again, we'll say we'll have it, along with some other stuff, but that's what we're working on. And that's also with MESA. We're looking at bringing MESA to the college itself. I'm actually going to meet with the Dean of Math and Science in a couple weeks to see what we can do to bring the program. So we have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of cool things happening. So we'll see what happens. We'll have some other things. All right, any questions?